All right, peace and greetings, YouTubers. So, have you all seen this video with the teenagers from Convington Catholic High School? And they're at the March for Life rally because, you know, the first thing that's on the mind of rich teenagers that are 15 and 16 is making sure that people aren't getting abortions. You know, so passionate. So, you know, they flew all the way out to D.C. and they're supposed to be at the March for Life rally. Somehow, they come into contact with a Native American group that's also there for a different purpose. And so they start trolling the Native Americans. And it's really this older guy that they're really just having a field day with. Have you seen the video? If not, we're going to play it. So let's watch the video and then we'll come back.
I'm so
So the first thing I noticed is pretty much all of the boys in the video, because mind you, this is an all-male school, none of them seem to have a care in the world that they're on camera and that this is probably going to be some video that's going to spread and it's going to go viral, it's going to hit social media, it'll hit the news cycle, and by Monday and Tuesday it'll be on the talk show circuit. And for some reason, they seem to not care at all. They seem to be just fine. And I think they recognize that they're protected under that umbrella of boys will be boys. And that's an umbrella that protects white kids, especially rich white kids. Because in reality, boys will be boys doesn't work for anybody else. Tamir Rice had to die for playing with a BB gun. When on the flip side, if it was another kid from another background, a BB gun is something he's going to get on his 12th birthday anyway. You know, Jordan Davis had to die because his music was too loud. But in reality, other kids around the country can do the same thing and nothing happens. They're celebrated. Oh, let the kids have their own individuality. They got to be free. Liberty, that's what America's about, you know. But depending on who you are, forget that. That's cause for dying or being arrested or mistaken for being an adult. You know what I mean? And so I find it funny that these kids came all the way from Kentucky to go do some bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you traveled all the way to D.C. and stood out there for all them hours. You're supposed to be at the March for Life, and you're supposed to be so passionate about the babies that get aborted and everything. And instead, you over here trolling the older man who's Native American with his group of folks. You decided that's where you wanted to put your energy. And it just makes me think, like, that's what happens when folks have money. Because I think of all the inner city schools and schools that are less affluent where the kids have to go and knock on doors and sell candy bars so the basketball team can get some jerseys. Or the kids got to go and they got to sell, you know, those cars they have, and maybe it's a few discounts to a few fast food places and some stores and stuff. The kids got to go and sell that, you know, for the football team, or, you know, they got to go and knock on doors in the rain and get people to sign a petition so that the taxpayers can possibly vote yes on the legislation that's going to renovate the gym that's falling apart. You know, different experience for different group of kids depending on the zip code in which you live in. Just something to think about. But I'm looking at these kids and I'm like, y'all flew all the way to DC for that nonsense. My question is, where's the adults? I saw no adults, and I'm questioning because I feel like the adults were enabling this. If they weren't behind the camera, they were right there somewhere, you know, and I think that's the bigger issue. You know, I could spend all day lighting into these kids, but my thing is, where's the adults? Because I'm just saying, as somebody who works with teenagers, I wish, like, my teens know if we were ever in a space like that, and I ever saw some foolishness like that go down, not only would I embarrass them, like, after I embarrass them in front of everybody, and Lord knows whatever happens after that, then they got to get cussed out on the bus. And then when we get back, I got to cuss their parents out and tell them what home training their kids are not receiving. And then when I get to work, I got to cuss out the whole staff because clearly we're doing something wrong if they thought this crap was okay. You know, so where were the adults in that? And to the older man, I give him kudos because he was better than me. And he was better than a lot of people because, you know, first of all, the part where you see the kid like standing like right here in his face while he's trying to perform, oh, okay. I wouldn't have hit the kid, but you know what? I would have started singing my song so much harder. I would have been pronouncing all those B's and C's and I mean, spit would have been flying in that kid's face. I would have been singing my song with so much conviction. They're like, you know, and some folks, again, they probably wouldn't have hit the kids, but you know what? They got some cousins they can call. You know, they would listen. They got on some red hats, and you know, I mean, all of them got on a red hat. So listen, if you hit the wrong one, just tell them to give it to whoever it's supposed to go to. You know, I know some people who would go and call they 15 or 16-year-old cousin to go catch them on the side. And those kids recognize and they know who they can try that with. They knew they could try it with those older Native Americans because there probably wasn't that many of them, and they're older, and there's that. I bet you they wouldn't have went to 7th Ward or 8th Ward in D.C. and did that at all. They know what's up. You know, that's real trifling. And then, you know, I think that's the result of when your lineage just sucks. Like, when your whole history, you only get one perception of it and not the reality. You know, nobody tells you about the bloodshed that's on the hands within your lineage. You know, nobody tells you about the oppression and everything like that. You're just told that you're the greatest thing in the world and that everybody, it's a gift just to know you. When you walk around with that kind of empowerment all day, that's the behavior that comes out. You know, and it's funny when people say the whole bit about, oh, well, you know, racism will die when the older people die out. These are some kids. These are what's the new generation called? What are they called? Zennials or Generation Z or whatever. That's them. This is the up and coming breed. And look what's already happened. It's like, y'all better figure that out. And then, can we look at the video again? This is how you know it's some nonsense. Even the outfits. I knew these kids were up to some nonsense. One, never mind the Make America Great Again hats. We already know where they stand with that. But look, you got a kid out there in shorts. Look at the one in shorts. It was 35 degrees today in D.C. You out there in shorts. If you're at a march, so he's wearing, those are what you call the build that wall shorts. All right? And look at the other one with the shades on. Those are if you don't like it, why don't you go back to Africa shades? I get that comment all the time on this channel. So then sometimes if I look at who made the comment and I go to their page, they always got some shades like that on. I think the kid with the shades was like, wait a minute, I just got into so-and-so school. I got to think about my scholarship. So he said he was going to be discreet. He's going to wear his shades. There was no sun out today, sir. It wasn't even hot. You knew what you was up to. Just trifling. Anyway, and I read that the Native American guy was like a Vietnam vet and everything. I'm like, dang. First you got to go to a nonsense war and take a bullet for the country, and then this is what you fought for. This is the end result of who you protected. Ain't that some crap? Anyway, we'll see how this unfolds. Them kids ought to be ashamed. That's embarrassing. And to that school, it was funny because I was trying to find their little social media stuff, but the school, they done locked up and blocked everything. But pretty much, according to Convington Catholic, their standards were supposed to be with a spirit that will never die. Educate young men spiritually, academically, physically, and socially. Y'all dropped the ball on 2 of those. I just want y'all to know. Anyway, and that's crazy. These are supposed to be this is supposed to be the group that is the moral compass of America. You know what I mean? These are the religious kids that are supposed to set the model for everybody else, and the model ain't looking too good. And I think with them, I think you would consider them, they're that group of it's not a big deal, bro club. It's not you guys are overreacting club. That's the you're overreacting club. They ain't never had to fight for anything. They ain't never had to struggle about anything. They don't recognize what it's like to be on the structural side of oppression from, a defensive side. They don't know anything. They don't understand that. That's not their life. So, of course, this is just a fun day for them. They think it's hilarious to go and laugh at the Native Americans. Who cares? They probably do the same things to black people who protest about police brutality, or other groups of people or Arabs or Muslims who go and protest about, the Islamophobia in the country. They don't care. Who cares? It's not a big deal, bro. And don't worry, I'm sure they got black friends. If the school got a basketball team, they're cool with those 3 that play on the team. But yeah, you see them Make America Great Again hats, right? You see where they stand on everything. Anyway, I'm out. Subscribe.